Hi guys, welcome back to my XVS guide. Now I'm gonna review Starlight Elena. So is she good? Should you pull for her? So let's begin from her stats. So her normal form is through dual wield and her brave shift form is through double hand. Yes, you can also make her through dual wield on her brave shift, but like you can see on the screen, on brave shift form, she doesn't have plus 6 times change damage modification. So it's better to make her into true double hand on brave shift. And I can say that her normal and brave shift forms are not different, okay, except for attack and magic boost. And for normal form, I must say I'm a little bit disappointed because like you can see that she only get 170% attack and magic boost. It is nice, but like you know that on Neo Vision we usually get like 200%, so this one 170% on both attack and magic is really annoying because remember you need to raise both stats. Okay, so it is not like only 30%, you can simply compensate that with one ability, but this time you cannot, okay, unless you have really specific hybrid abilities. But her brave shift form, I must say, it's quite decent. Like you can see that 190% attack and 200% magic, like pure attacker stats. And yes, another complaint is like you can see that her survivability is not that great. Okay, only 20% defense, 30% spirit. Wow, that's quite low. Okay, and remember again, she is hybrid character, so you need to increase both attack and magic. That probably leave you very hard with an additional ability for her survivability. Okay, and yes, luckily she has 100% fatal damage protection. So yeah, at least she can survive one deadly attack. So yes, I think that's all about her stats. I must say it is not special or anything from her stats. Okay, no killers, but yes, we'll deal with it. Now let's talk about the normal form. Okay, so on normal form, she is a chainer. She can cheat with Aurel Ray, Stardust Ray, and Bolting Strike. I can say that Aurel Ray is kinda useless at this point of the game, okay? But for Stardust Ray, it is quite good because like you know that most Neo Vision characters chain with Stardust Ray. So yes, even when it is not her strongest chaining ability, it is still powerful enough to make her into partner for other Neo Vision. Okay, and her strongest Bolting Strike, whoa, I can say, whoa. For Neo Vision, there is only one character. Your partner is Yoshikiri. And that's kinda bad news in my opinion because like you know, sure, some of you say that Yoshikiri is pretty good, his spirit is insane. Yes, I know his spirit is good, I know. But in terms of damage, I can say that he is not top tier. So I can say that this Bolting Strike chaining family kinda bottleneck her so bad, okay? And for elements, she has two elements, okay? Light and water. She able to imbue and imperil both of those elements. And the best part is she able to increase light and water damage by 20%. So yes, it is really powerful. And she also can support your party using Super Dispel, but it is only available every 8 turns, so beware. For buff, it is only for herself. 300% attack and magic buff. Okay, it cannot be dispelled, which is good. And yes, it's good because that means you can bring a buffer like Renora who not able to buff your attack and magic and still okay with that. Okay. And for Grandis ability, it is another 300% attack and magic buff. So this is simply like emergency attack and magic buff, okay? But the thing you want to get from this Grandis ability is the 99 times hybrid damage. Don't worry, 99 times seems low, but it is still not full because you get additional damage from damage modifier. Like you can see that on the table here, wow, okay? I can say that her damage modifier is insane. It is 170 times damage for the mini blade and for her grandest, it is 169. Again, some of you complain, but it is only hybrid attack. Yes, you are correct, but I can say that if you have the right gear, so yes, some of you simply think that hybrid damage only simply divide them by 2. So 170 times, some of you say that it is equal to 85 times damage modifier. That's probably correct, okay, if you don't have gear for her. But if you're able to gear her with best equipment for hybrid, I can say that it is real 170 times damage. Okay, assuming the enemy has exact same defense and spirit. So let's say if you have the same gear, I mean best gear for hybrid character, like you can see here that her maximum damage per turn can deal 510 times hybrid damage. Let's say you only able to reach, let's say, 80% of your pure offensive stats. Okay, for example, is if your Akstar get 3000 attack and you can only build Elena into, let's say, 2400 on both attack magic, that's only 75% offensive, right? And in that case, she is still pretty powerful because, like you can see here, she still deal equally like 408 times damage. Again, this is simply a picture, okay, not a real calculation. So yes, but yes, the point is she is as good as your gear you put on her. Okay, and like you can see, the rotation is pretty simple. On the first turn, you use Stella Maris to buff your attack and magic, and then Aqua or Light Overflow to imperil and imbue yourself with element and increase those elemental damage, and then Gemini Blade or whatever. On the second turn, use your Limit Burst. Your Limit Burst need to be used every 4 turns because it gives you damage modifier boost for your skills. Okay, and on this normal form, her LB is not meant to deal damage because, like you can see that it does 100 times damage. She has innate 150% LB damage, so this only deal about 250 times damage, which is lower than her triple cast abilities. Okay, if you really want to use her Limit Burst, then use it on Brave Shift form. So let's take a look on her Brave Shift abilities. So on her Brave Shift form, she can still chain, but I think the strength of her Brave Shift form is to become a finisher, okay? Because her bolting strike is limited to light and water element. So really, if the enemies resist against those elements, you cannot use her as a chainer on the Brave Shift form. And yes, she able to imbue light and water element and imperil, but it's only 100%. So again, for imbue and imperil, get it from her normal form. And the good thing about her Brave Shift is she gets demon and human killer between 100 to 200%. Okay, you may complain, what, it is only physical killer, she is hybrid. Let me tell you that for hybrid character, you do not need to worry about magic killer, okay? You only need to stack your physical killer and you get exact real number like you give physical attackers. Okay, so some players think you need to increase both physical and magic killers for hybrid character. It turns out you are wrong. Actually, I just know it when I read the wiki too. So yes, you only need to bother with physical killer. Don't complain on this one. And for support, she able to give 80% water and light resist. Kind of niche, but yeah, useful when needed. And for her grandest, it is 200% demon and human killer, and the damage is quite insane. Like you can see, if you able to reach maximum damage after using LB, then she can deal 573 times hybrid damage. And yes, that's insane. Let's just simply you only able to reach 50%. That's still pretty powerful. Okay, 200 to about 280 times damage per turn. Very, very powerful. Okay, and for her limit burst, I think it is pretty good because it is only 2 hits, and like you can see that she gets 150% LB damage. Okay, she gets this 150% LB damage when using this LP. So unlike her normal form, she gets huge boost on this Brave Shift form. Okay, it can deal about 400 times hybrid damage. Remember, you can increase the damage by giving her LB damage boosting equipment like her vision card, etc. Okay, so yes, really powerful, I must say. Both forms, Brave Shift for finisher, or if you don't have, let's say, if you don't have Bolting Strike chaining partner, you can use her as finisher. But if you have Bolting Strike, maybe it's better to use her normal form, because another warning for hybrid players, hybrid characters, is your damage, only physical damage, which get damage modifier boost from two-handed weapon. Okay, so it is not full 1.6 times damage for hybrid, because half of your damage is magical, and that is not affected by weapon damage variance. Okay, and yes, I think it's probably worth to make her into dual wield on this form. Yeah, basically just tinkering with the best equipment that you have. Okay, but I must say, pretty powerful. Okay, so enough about abilities. Now let's talk about equipment, which is really important aspect on her. So, like you have known that Elena can become really good Neo Vision or really bad Neo Vision, depends on your equipment. That's why this is really important. Okay, like you can see that okay, let's talk about starting from standard form. Okay, sorry. So on standard form, she is true dual wield, and yes, for true dual wield, she already has 150% true dual wield if you equip her Trust Mastery Word. So it is already good. You only need 50% more, and you can reach that easily. Not easily, okay, I mean easily in quote, if you have STMR. Okay, so you need to have Nagi or Gilgamesh, War of the Vision STMR, because those STMR give you 50% true dual wield and nice attack and magic boost. Really good STMR, okay, one of the best offensive STMR on this game. And remember also Malfacy STMR for accessory, that also gives you 50% attack, true dual wield, attack and magic. So if you don't have those things, then what I can say is good luck, because that means you need to spend 2 or more slots in order to boost your attack and magic through dual wield. And yes, that's annoying. For weapon, it is another problem. Okay, her first weapon is easy. It is her on Trust Mastery Word. What about the secondary weapon? It is also easy if you pull 2 Starlight Elena. But if you buy the fragment from the bundle, that means you only get 1 Starlight Elena, right? And for secondary weapon, you need other characters STMR. Again, really annoying this to get her. Okay, you can use Ignis STMR, 145 attack and magic. But the best STMR I can say is Ash STMR. Okay, 120 attack, 171 magic. So very decent stats. But yes, I hope you pull 2 Starlight Elena. Okay, if you don't have those STMR. And remember, for abilities, you also need attack and magic booster on one ability. Okay, you can easily get them from Adventurer 5. That's pretty easy to obtain as long as you play the game and do expedition. You can get 40% on all stats. And then yes, Kunshira STMR for accessory slot, 50 attack magic. Lily set 53 attack and magic. And maybe the best ability for her is Crown Prince Noctis Trust Mastery Word, because it gives you 40% attack and magic and 30% limit burst damage, which is also needed for her Brave Shift form. And let's talk about Brave Shift. On Brave Shift form, I can say that it is a little bit hard to gear her, okay? Because on True Dual Wield, you equip 2 weapons, and that means you get twice stats boost from your weapon, okay? From item enhancement world. But on Brave Shift, she becomes through double hand. You only equip 1 weapon, so only 1 item enhancement bonus. And again, on her Brave Shift, if you equip her Trust Mastery Word, that means you don't get benefit from being through double hand. I know I have said that you don't get full damage modifier boost from true double hand, but still, boost is a boost. Will really useful. So for her Brave Shift, I think you need to have Elena, normal Elena Trust Mastery Word. Okay, if you have her, then congratulations, because her Trust Mastery Word also activate Starlight Elena Brave Shift Trust ability. Okay, so that's for weapon. And for true double hand, it is another hard thing because she only has 200% true double hand attack and magic. For true dual wield, you only need 50% more. But for this, you need 200% more on both attack and magic. That's pretty insane requirement, guys. Unless, of course, you get her STMR. Her STMR gives you 150% on both attack and magic through double hand. This is really good STMR, okay? Just compare it with Neo Vision Cloud. Remember that Neo Vision Cloud STMR gives you 200% on attack through double hand attack, okay? But this one, 150%, only 50% less than Neo Vision Cloud, but it increased both attack and magic. So I can say that the total value is 300%. Really good. I can say that this is one of the best STMR on this game. Okay, so really, if you pull her not by accident, that means you like her, then I suggest you to use your 100 STMR Moogle ticket to get her STMR. Of course, remember that if you get to Starlight Elena, use your STMR Moogle on the unit that you gonna convert into fragment. Okay, in that case, I mean, in that way you can get another STMR when you reach X+2. Okay, so that's my recommendation for you. But if you get her X+1 through fragment like me, then it's okay, okay? Just swallow it. Okay? And another good candidate for ability is Elena STMR. 50% through double hand attack and magic. So basically, they ask us to get both Elena STMR, because when you equip those two, you're gonna get 400% through double hand attack and magic, and another 60% attack and magic, which is really good. So again, I can say she is only as good as the gear you put on her. Okay, so enough about equipment. Now let's talk about partner. So for partner, like it or not, especially on Dark Vision, your only partner is Yoshikiri. Okay, because he is the only bolting strike chainer at this point. But I think you don't need to worry, because I believe that in upcoming future, global exclusive character gonna be bolting strike chainer, and I believe on next month we gonna get Neo Vision Halloween unit. Okay, like you remembered Kartin is bolting strike chainer, right? So I believe his Neo Vision form is gonna be another bolting strike chainer. On that time, Kartin probably gonna become really good friend with this Starlight Elena, but that's what I can hope. Okay, maybe they don't even awaken Cartin, but I doubt that. Okay, I believe they will release, let's say, like one real Neofician character for Halloween and awaken Gatria and Cartin. Not sure about Rain or whatever, okay, but let's just wait until Halloween. And she only able to imbue herself with two elements, water and light. So you need to have another characters to support her for other elements, like Dr. Aiden for dark. Rena here is only for illustration because she already able to imbue herself with light element. But yeah, let's say like Lucas, Sylvie, those are a good partner for Elena. Okay, so enough about partner. Now let's talk about abilities priority. The first ability you need to level up is the mini blade, okay, because it is her most powerful chaining ability on normal form. And remember, it is not restricted to elements. So let's say in the future, the enemy resists against water and light, you can gear her with another elemental weapon on secondary hand, and then yes, she can become that element chainer. Really nice. And Revitalizing Strike is the number 2 because it is Stardust Ray chaining move. That means she can become any partner for currently available Neofician. Okay, and it also recover her health and MP. Nice. And I can say that you don't need to worry that much about her Brave Shift Bolting Strike abilities, because what you get only damage increase. It is not bad, okay, but if you nearly run out of resources, then it is not your priority, because basically what you're gonna want to use on Brave Shift is her finishing ability. And yes, that means you only use this to imbue your element. Okay, and on level 1 until level 5, the duration stays the same, 3 turns. So really, you don't need to bother with leveling up this elemental bolting strike. Okay, so enough about abilities. Now my conclusion for Starlight Elena. Again, you have heard me saying this before. She is only as good as the gear you put on her. Okay, she can become the strongest Neofician, maybe after Tifa, not sure. Okay, I forgot about how many damage modifier Tifa can does. Okay, but yes, she is really powerful if you're able to reach high stats on both attack and magic. Okay, and honestly, on my friend, I can see that 4,000 attack and magic Starlight Elena. That's quite insane. Okay, most of the equipments are STMR, Red Hellbore, and then yeah, you name it. Okay, all the STMR, he or she throw it on Elena, and I believe she can become really powerful. And she also has simple rotation. But let's say you don't have hybrid equipment. Okay, what you only have is, let's say, focus equipment like for attack or magic, then really guys, do not get this Starlight Elena, because your Starlight Elena damage gonna be really bad if you don't have hybrid equipment. Okay, and yes, her STMR is really good. Okay, I have said this on previous section. 150% attack and magic through double hand. That means 300% total value. Wow, very amazing. And like you know that usually global exclusive is broken in certain way. Either the character is broken or the Trust Mastery Word or STMR that which are broken. And I can say this one is quite broken. Okay, really nice. But her Trust Mastery Word, I must say, wow, it is bad. Not bad because of anything, because it is only usable by her. Okay, Yes, you can say, oh, it's usable with Elena. Oh, please God, if you have Starlight Elena, why you want to use Elena? For chaining partner, yes, you can do that, okay, but like I said, hybrid equipment is really needed. So I think if you already go all out equipping Starlight Elena with those equipments, I believe your Elena gonna be suck. So I think the only way to use Starlight Elena is to ask your friend to gear her for you, okay? That way, both the Starlight Elena gonna be really strong. Okay, and yes, that's her weakness, really hard to build, I can say, really expensive. Maybe one of the most expensive character on this game because of this insane requirement, okay? But if you're able to do that, she is powerful, especially against demon and human, okay? And remember, only need physical killer, so you can get physical killer from Esper, etc. Okay, you don't need both physical and magic killer. And for her vision card, I must say this is really good for hybrid characters. But if you don't have hybrid characters, actually she's the only hybrid characters at this point for Neo Vision. Then if you don't plan to use her, then do not need to level this vision card. Okay, simply keep it until you find the next hybrid characters. Okay, so I think that's all you need to know about this Starlight Elena. Okay guys, really nice character, I must say, if you are veteran or have the equipment. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Paravex videos guide. Bye bye guys.